In today's video, we'll be watching some strange and crazy TikToks that will make you question everything.
I recently saw someone on another social media platform, one that starts with an I, and her name is Chelsea underscore explains. She's super funny. You should go follow her. But she was talking about a declassified CIA document and things that she read in there. She was like sharing some of the tips, and I was like, oh my God. I read that document like probably a year, maybe 2 years, I don't know, whenever it came out, I read that. I even downloaded it because I have been known, okay, to be a conspiracy theorist enthusiast, one could say. If you know me, then you know I will entertain any conspiracy theory. I want to hear about it. I want to talk about it. It's probably true. A lot of them are true, people. Don't come at me. But I'm getting off track. This document, it is filled with some of the things that you would never know existed to like control your body, to control your pain, to change your thoughts, like all of this stuff released by the CIA. Okay, so this is not conspiracy. It is actually released. It's declassified, so at one time they didn't want us to know about it. And I have it, and I'm gonna show you the receipts. Okay, this paper behind me is from that declassified CIA document. Here are some of the tips I saw her talking about, and I have used them. And I was like, I know what she's talking about. And they work. They seriously work. So I'll give you a second to look, okay? So there's like how to remember something, how to get restful sleep. Who the heck doesn't want to know that? How to reduce pain signals. I used this when I cut my finger. I shit you not. The pain stopped. Okay? Wow. Anyway, there's reduce emotional charge. How to change the body for great speed and strength. It's kind of like a biohack. And receive fresh new energy for your total system, how to balance any part of your body or heal it. I've also done this when I've had like a stomach ache or like I felt like I had a cold coming on. So I used that and I didn't get sick. So I think I'm going to make a series on this because I didn't think anybody cared about this declassified CIA document. You didn't hear it anywhere on the news. Not that I freaking watch the news, but I'm just saying. When I talked to like my coworkers about it, they all looked at me like, Carly, what the hell are you talking about? Well, now that I know that there are people, many people, who want to know about this, I am going to make a series on it, okay? So follow me along as I break these CIA tips down for you because let's spread that knowledge, baby. Okay? Okay, bye.
Did you know?
I'm going to hunt up her videos and I'm going to pull it in because I'd love to hear about this. If y'all would like to hear about it, leave it in the comments.
These are the people who knew too much and were silenced. Michael Jackson, 25th of June, 2009. It's said that Michael uncovered secrets about a dark network involving high-ranking politicians and minors. The official version states he died from an overdose while trying to sleep that night. But how credible is that explanation? Barnaby Jack, 25th of July, 2013. This famous hacker shocked the world when, during a conference, he demonstrated how some could manipulate pacemakers to cause clean, undetectable deaths. Just days later, Barnaby was found dead in his apartment. A simple coincidence, or was he silenced for what he knew? Daphne Caruana Galizia, 16th of October, 2017. This investigative journalist exposed secrets about the elites and the controversial Panama Papers. Her research placed her in direct conflict with powerful figures. Shortly afterwards, a bomb in her car ended her life. Is it really just a coincidence that all these people met such fates, or did they uncover something they were never meant to know? But what do you think, Comet Silence? If you want me to keep exposing the hidden truth...
Here's some weird-ass conspiracy theories that I fully believe in as someone who used to watch every single Shane Dawson conspiracy theory video growing up. Number one is that our phones are constantly listening to and watching us at all times. I feel like we've all had that experience where we'll talk about something that we've literally never talked about, and then 5 minutes later an ad pops up on our phone about it, which is just, it's all not a coincidence. And at the same time, Shane Dawson did just make a video basically about how our phone is kind of constantly watching us and proved this theory using like red light analysis. I don't know, but the whole thing was weird, and I 100% believe that they are both watching and listening to us through our iPhones. Number 2 is the butterfly effect, which basically means that everything we do will like alter our future. If you leave the house 10 minutes later than you were planning on, something in your future could drastically change. And I will fully believe in this. I will see stuff happen. I'll watch car accidents happen. I'm like, damn, like if they weren't driving at this time, like that probably wouldn't happen. Just like all these different little things that happen in my life, or like if I didn't go to a specific workout class one morning, I wouldn't have met my boyfriend. Like everything affects something else in your life, and it's so crazy when you think about it. Number 3 is that I kind of think The Simpsons do somewhat predict the future. Like, I'm not saying they have a crystal ball and sit there, but it is just weird the amount of coincidences that show has happened. Like, Donald Trump becoming president, the whole submarine exploding, which is something none of us would have ever imagined. Just, like, all these little things that their show has predicted, and I'm just like, there's something going on because it's just so many coincidences. Like, it's weird. Number 4 is that aliens are 1,000% real, and if you don't believe that and think that we are the only things that have ever existed in the entire universe, you are just so ignorant, I think. Like, I'm not saying that they're green little aliens walking around, but there's 1,000% other life. And number 5 is that I 1,000% believe in some sort of like higher society that is low-key running the world. I'm not saying it's the Illuminati or something like that, but something of the sort where people with power and money are 1,000% controlling like our government and the world. I think that recently
I agree with a lot of this that she's talking about. I think there's aliens.
I've just been shown that money can get you anything in this world. You can grease the palms of pretty much anyone nowadays. And to think that there are not people with power and money that are low-key running everything going on, I feel like is crazy.
You know the Mars theory?
That there's aliens on Mars?
Nah, there's a theory that Mars was the original planet that humans were from.
Okay.
Then something happened that we all had to fly to another planet and live on. There used to be like civilization that lived on Mars. Now back this. On Mars, there's an element on the periodic table called...
I kid you not, when I was a kid, I always thought that we was from Mars. I don't know why. Nobody ever told me that, but it was something that I just thought. And I found it fascinating the older I got and heard more from other people that they thought the same thing. I found it very fascinating.
Xenon. Xenon on Earth is only found, this is crazy, is only found after a nuclear explosion.
No.
Oh shit, that's not even the super mode button.
I said no. What the hell?
And it goes hand in hand now. What if on Mars there was a nuclear warfare, destroyed the whole planet, but people were able to escape just in time, landed on Earth, and they had to restart from nothing.
So we are the aliens.
We're the aliens.
What the hell? Yeah.
It's real shit. Like, this element's called xenon. It's prominent after nuclear explosion. There's a theory. The reason children, when they're first born, they don't remember anything is because the only things that they remember at that time are still the memories of their past lives.
Okay, yeah.
And then if you can somehow, I guess in the brain chemistry, access those memories and still be able to remember them and speak them out, it's the stuff about like the past that you can remember. But as you get older, obviously those memories get erased and then you're filled up with the new ones.
Yeah. No, that's weird because it's like, what if it hits that brain like nerve and then all of a sudden you're not even Carlos no more. You're like the guy in the mountain that was in your past life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird.
That would be weird.
But I don't know. Maybe I have no idea where that came from.
Because a lot of people when they talk to me, they're like, "Yo, Carlos, I feel like this isn't his first time living." You know what I mean? Because, but I've heard that many times because it's like, I don't know, you just do a lot. But I don't know if that's because of past lives or
I don't know. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Maybe like how you said that you want to do a guitarist, but maybe you were a guitarist back in your past life. You know what I mean?
Yo, I think about this a lot. So this gets deep, right?
Yeah.
If you were the creator of the universe, how would you want the world to be?
The Federal Reserve is not federal. How many of you did not know before today that the Federal Reserve isn't federal? If you didn't, don't be shy. If you didn't know before today that the Federal Reserve isn't federal, raise your hand. Most people don't know that. 9 out of 10 people that I asked off the street don't understand that the Federal Reserve is a non-auditable private banking cartel. They are collecting $36 million an hour in interest from the American people. $36 million an hour in interest from the American people. My children, my 2 children, were born $86,000 in debt based on the national debt. Now, why am I going to take away from those children to give to somebody that is going to be born in 2030? It's not going to happen. So that was my decision. It was very easy. You know, you think about stuff like fear. Oh, the IRS is going to get you. They're going to take your stuff. That's not important to me. Stuff's not important to me. My children are important to me. I'm one of those mothers that will roll up her sleeves with one leg and try to whoop you if you mess with my children. And I think that a lot of mothers are like that. So this is what my decision was. And I went on and started educating people. One of the things that people asked me once I made this decision and started talking about it, how are we going to run the country without the income tax? I don't know how much Dan got into it, but the Grace Commission report that Ronald Reagan put out in 84, says that none of the money collected in income tax goes towards running the country. But the bottom line is it's not going towards running the country, so you patriotic people out there, you've been fooled. Beardsley Rummel, he was Federal Reserve Chairman back in 1946.
I want them to get rid of property tax. I know there's a way, and I know they can do it. It's not right.
Did a speech before the American Bar Association. The title of his speech was Taxes for Revenue Are Obsolete. Within the body of this report, he says that the taxes, the income taxes for redistribution of wealth. What is redistribution of wealth? What is that? That's taking from me that I've worked hard for and giving it from somebody else to somebody else. Shouldn't I have the right to redistribute my wealth if I want to? Another question that they ask me is, how come I haven't heard this on TV, or on the radio, or in the newspaper? Well, sweetie, the simple answer to that is the same people who own the television stations and the newspapers and the radio stations are the same people who are involved with the Federal Reserve. And here is a little statement that says that it only requires 5% ownership to significantly influence the media. Rockefeller is one of the original shareholders of the Federal Reserve. As early as 1963, the House Banking Subcommittee reported that Rockefeller, through Chase Manhattan Bank, controlled 5.9% of the stock in CBS and the bank and gained interlocking directorates with ABC. I went all the way through high school, all the way through college, all the way through testing for the CPA, and all this Irish training and didn't hear about any of this. You think they want this information out here? For you guys to eat up and chew up and find out what's really going on? I don't think so.
So, did you know China banned time travel?
What do you mean?
Listen.
How is that traveling? No.
If they ban time travel, then there's a reason. It's got to be real.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So listen. So if China, right, banned time travel, made it illegal for time travel, what does that mean?
That shit is true, fam.
That means time travel is possible.
No way.
Now here's my theory.
Yeah.
What if time travel isn't something that you make with a machine, but it's something you access with your spiritual side? That's why everybody can do it, but not everybody can unlock it. Because what if a time travel machine doesn't exist? What if it's onto a different realm that we can understand in a different way?
Okay, it's like, fuck.
Because how would time and space translate to a machine? Feel me?
Yeah.
It wouldn't. But time and space does kind of manifest in yourself. Look, in a sense, when you dream of something that happened in the past, is that not necessarily like time travel?
Not necessarily.
But you still remember things from it. So you kind of put yourself in that time travel position.
Yeah.
But if to live it exactly how it is that time travel?
Oh.
There are people living inside of the Earth. It's true. New information from NASA states that there is a large ocean beneath the Earth's crust, after scientists detected movement below the surface. Around 500 miles below, a large supply of water has been found stored in a rock named ringwoodite. But it gets even crazier. Scientists say that this rock is so huge that it contains 3 times the amount of water on the Earth's surface. This causes many to believe that there is more down there than we originally thought, possibly even civilizations. While the news of this discovery was over 10 years ago, it was never talked about. Is the government hiding this?
Check out Admiral Byrd. Me and my wife have been looking into him. It is a good story. Whether it's real or not, I don't know.
Information from us? What do you think?
The GOAT conspiracy is the Illuminati.
You believe in it or you don't?
I don't believe in none of that shit. I don't think none of that shit. Especially the Illuminati shit is only us. Like, how are we not benefiting from it?
Crazy.
If we're supposed to be running this whole thing, how the fuck I get stopped by the cops the other day?
I need to hit this real quick. This is for entertainment purposes only. I do not believe any of this. Take it for what you want. That's all it is.
Can the Illuminati come tell him get off my ass?
You know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
The real truth, you better wake up and find out, has been around you all of your life. You just didn't see it. Example, Abraham Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846. John Kennedy was elected to Congress 1946. Abe Lincoln was elected president in 1860. John Kennedy was elected president 1960. The names Lincoln and Kennedy both contain 7 letters. Both presidents were particularly concerned with civil rights. Both of the presidents' wives lost children while living in the White House. Both presidents were shot on a Friday in the head. President Lincoln's secretary was named Miss Kennedy. Kennedy's secretary was named Miss Lincoln. Both were assassinated by Southerners. Both were succeeded by Southerners. Andrew Johnson, who succeeded Lincoln, was born in 1808. Lyndon Johnson, who succeeded Kennedy, was born in 1908. John Wilkes Booth, who assassinated Lincoln, was born in 1839. Lee Harvey Oswald, who assassinated Kennedy, in 1939. Both assassins were known by 3 names: John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald. Both names are comprised of 15 letters. President Lincoln was shot in a theater named Ford. Kennedy was shot in a car named Lincoln, made by Ford. John Wilkes Booth ran to a theater and was caught in a warehouse. Oswald ran from a warehouse and was caught in a theater. Booth and Oswald were both assassinated before they could go to trial. And a week before Lincoln was shot, he was in Monroe, Maryland. A week before Kennedy was shot, he was with Marilyn Monroe.
The truth is
Too many damn coincidences, I'm telling you. Too many.
hidden in plain sight, and this is how they hide everything. If you are looking for the knowledge that has been hidden from us, if you want to know the meaning behind these symbols, if you want to know who controls the world, this ebook will literally unveil that to you, and ye shall know the truth, and truth shall set you free.
These are some of the scariest conspiracy theories in the world, but we're going to keep going until we find the craziest one. There's actually a huge conspiracy that the Denver International Airport is the Illuminati's headquarters, which is crazy. So basically, since a lot of people already have this conspiracy, the airport themselves have embraced the rumors by poking fun at it. Like, they have billboards and posters around the airport that's like, hey, we're aliens. And people think that since they poke around and joke at it, that it's probably true, that why are they making fun of it? They're trying to hide it. There's also a huge conspiracy that the Apollo 17 was not the last moon mission. Okay. So after Apollo 17 in 1972, America actually stopped sending astronauts to the moon. NASA claimed that they logged all the research they needed and the government funding was reduced, so it ended. The movie actually ended up coming out about a fictional Apollo 18 mission, and now some people believe that the mission was real and it ended tragically when the astronauts had a run-in with aliens. I think that arguably one of the biggest conspiracies is that people believe that airplane exhaust trails are actually filled with chemtrails. So within this conspiracy, people think that the exhaust trails on airplanes are actually chemtrails, and it's the government that's trying to spray us, and they're keeping it a secret. And there's also a lot of conspiracies that feed into this, like whether or not it's cloud seeding for storms, or if it's like mind seeding to control our minds. We're gonna keep going with this until we find the craziest one, so make sure you add me.
It's definitely cloud seeding. What y'all think? I ain't stupid, but that's what I think.
And come back to me tomorrow.
Antarctic beings?
Yeah, you heard me. Not some myth, an ancient, hyper-evolved lineage of polar humans. They've been down there for centuries, thriving in total isolation. No outsiders, no interference. These aren't your average lost tribe. These beings are built for the ice, bioengineered by evolution itself. Picture this: snow-white hair, eyes like frozen lightning, skin so translucent it glows under the aurora. They're not hiding because they're weak. They're staying hidden because they're powerful. We're talking about a civilization older than the pyramids, with tech and knowledge we can't even wrap our heads around. Their ruling families, they've controlled Antarctica's rarest elements for generations, minerals that could rewrite global power if they ever hit the market. Now stop and think, why is Antarctica so heavily restricted? Why do you need special clearance just to step near it? Because governments aren't protecting it from us, they're protecting us from them. There's a secret economy, hidden deals, a cold empire that never fell because it was never known. For entertainment purpose only.
So I can't say it, but I'm telling you, I know what's going to happen next. How much metal you have in your body will affect you when this thing happens. It has to do with frequency. Okay, so that I stay safe, that I can come back, and I stay alive, I want to tell you something. I will give you a hint to what he showed me. It's going to happen, and you have to get rid of these metals in your body. And it could happen tomorrow. It could happen, but they're going to say it's something else. You're going to have to do your own thinking about this. I don't want to get in trouble, but just stick a piece of foil in a microwave, and picture that in your body. And now,
my favorite conspiracy theory
damn, that's
is
crazy.
that there are people hired by the government to cause rush hour traffic, and it's funded by big oil and SSRI distributors, because what else are you doing in traffic other than burning gas and being miserable? That's my favorite because I just made it up.
You can prove.
Hold on that traffic thing. I don't know about you all, but I always find it weird that traffic's held up, and then when we finally get moving a little bit, and when we finally get moving a little bit more, we get up there and there's nothing holding traffic up. So what was it? It's kind of weird that she mentions that.
That the moon landings are fake with the logic, not having to look at any video clip or any picture. Today, with 5 decades better rockets and computers, the farthest that NASA can send an astronaut into space is only 1,000th the distance to the moon. So what they're really claiming, Danny, is that back in 1969, when all of NASA's computers combined had 1/1,000,000th the computing power of a cell phone, they sent astronauts ahead of schedule on the first attempt 1,000 times farther than they can do today with 50 years better technology. So what they're actually saying is, for the first time in the history of the world, technology was greater in the past than in the future, which is impossible, which means they faked it. It's amazing. The truth is right there. And people have made a god out of this, and they refuse to see the truth.
Guys, what is going on with this? So we have an Egyptian pharaoh and pyramid, and then we have the Grand Canyon. And I want you to see what I'm seeing. Take a look so you can understand the internet's newest conspiracy theory. So I'm going to try to explain to you why people think this is legit. And it all starts from an article back in 1909 where an archaeologist found a hidden city and a ton of Egyptian artifacts here in the Grand Canyon. So some people thought that was a hoax, but then the hieroglyphics are actually pretty similar between the two, Native American and Egyptian. Like, some of the characters were exactly the same. And some people just don't believe that the Grand Canyon could just appear naturally, that man had to be involved to create something so majestic. There's apparently a whole group of people that believe the US government is hiding a whole lot of stuff in the Grand Canyon from us. Supposedly they're hiding evidence and artifacts and a whole ancient civilization, and that our government doesn't want to open any of these mummy shells because they don't want us to be a cursed region. I don't know. Do y'all think it's an Egyptian shrine? You tell me what you think, because
I don't understand why we can't go down there and explore. So there's got to be something down there. They just think that we're dumb, but we're not.
my theory, I think someone in an MLM came up with this because it looks like another pyramid scheme.
Elon Musk might not be from this time. There's a theory that he's actually a time traveler. Check this out. Musk has advanced technologies that seemed impossible, predicts the future with eerie accuracy, and there's chilling evidence that connects him to the past and the future. Coincidence? Keep reading. In 1953, a book called Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey was published, where a boy named Elon leads a mission to Mars. Musk has said his goal is to colonize Mars. 2A photo from 1920 shows a man identical to him, an unknown ancestor, or himself traveling back in time. 3 Nikola Tesla claimed to have received messages from beings from the future. Curiously, Musk named his company Tesla, a tribute or a clue. In 2017, Musk tweeted that artificial intelligence was more dangerous than nuclear weapons. Now his company xAI is developing advanced AI because he already saw what will happen in the future. Coincidence or proof that he controls time? Type MUSK in the comments if you want part 2 with more evidence.
Musk is
and
weird.
follow me for more mysteries.
Why did the US government buy so much glitter? The glitter conspiracy began when a New York Times investigation in 2018 revealed that the largest glitter manufacturer was unwilling to disclose its biggest client. When asked about who buys the most glitter, a spokesperson cryptically responded, "Oh, you would never guess. I can't say." This secrecy sparked wild theories, questioning if glitter is being used in military technology, counterfeiting, or hidden in everyday products. A theory suggests it's used in automotive paint, but companies might want to keep consumers unaware of how common and inexpensive it is. Others believe glitter could be part of stealth technology or high-security materials, fueling further intrigue. The real mystery remains: who needs so much glitter that its usage must be kept secret? Despite endless speculation, no one knows for sure, making this one of the internet's most bizarre conspiracies. This enduring enigma continues to captivate imaginations as people delve deep into the web of theories surrounding glitter's clandestine presence. As curiosity grows, discussions around the implications of this glitter conspiracy evolve, generating debates among experts.
I've never heard of that. I don't know what it's about.
Okay, so this is part 3 to my conspiracy theories series. My last video got like a violation, so I have to say this is just for fun, entertainment purposes only. So, another thing I believe in is that the earth is flat and we live in a firmament. And if you read the Bible at all, you will know that that is on the first page of the Bible. So, obviously, I do believe in God. But I also believe that Antarctica is an ice wall that holds in all of our oceans. I do think there's probably things in Antarctica that they don't want us to see, so that's probably why we can only explore like a very small part of Antarctica. And I also believe that Disney World has...
If you get a chance, go to Google Earth and go to Antarctica, start zooming in, and you can see a bunch of areas that we're not allowed to see. It's pretty interesting. I believe there's more there.
Underground tunnels that are probably used for like ill intent. I have to be careful how I word that. So yeah, if you want me to keep up this series, let me know.
Fox News alert, the Justice Department just released the bombshell report that we've been waiting for. What actually happened on January 6th? The FBI had 26 confidential human sources there that day. 26. A confidential human source is a guy the FBI pays to spy for them. Of the 26 confidential human sources who were in D.C. on Jan 6th, 4 entered the Capitol during the riot. An additional 13 entered the restricted area around the Capitol.
Before it goes any further, I remember that day I was watching it live, and as it was happening, I was also checking Facebook, and a bunch of people were blaming Trump, and I knew right then and there that they was wrong. And I still know that this is true.
So more than a dozen FBI spies participated in the so-called insurrection. A bunch of them broke into the Capitol. Their own inspector general says this is what happened. But that's not what they told you when they testified under oath.
Those who were there in an undercover capacity on January 6th, how many were there?
Again, I'm not sure that I can give you that number as I sit here. I'm not sure there were undercover agents on scene.
I thought I heard you say you didn't know whether there were FBI agents or informants or human sources in the Capitol or in the vicinity on January 6th. Did I misunderstand you? I thought that's what you said.
Well, I referred very specifically to undercover agents.
Yeah. And so are you acknowledging then there were undercover agents?
As I sit here right now, I do not believe there were undercover agents on scene.
The inspector was hiding something, so Congress asked the question a different way. Listen.
Did you have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters inside the Capitol on January the 6th prior to the doors being open?
Again, I had to be very careful.
It should be a no. Can you not tell the American people no? We did not have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters positioned inside the Capitol.
Gentleman's time has expired.
You should not read anything into my decision not to share information.
Director Ray,
confidential human
gentleman's time.
Just me, or do these clouds look really strange? I don't know what it is about them. They just look, I don't know, artificial?
My son and I have noticed a lot of this lately, especially with all these storms that are going on. the other day it looked like they was kind of like stairs. It was weird. But if you pay attention, you know.
Is that weird? Am I being a conspiracy theorist? Probably. But they look really strange.
You see the video
Be a
of the
truth
guy
teller.
who's out like early in the morning hunting and he's panning across the field and the sky fucking glitches. Like, I can be a conspiracy theorist sometime, but generally with this kind of stuff, I'm not the one to be like, oh yeah, the earth is flat and we live in the Matrix and all that. But I don't know. These days, I just question everything. I feel like every day some new conspiracy theory is proven true, and it just makes me wonder how many other conspiracy theories were true. Like, what about 9/11? Did we really land on the moon? I don't know. A couple years ago, I'd have rolled my eyes and been like, whatever. But as I get older and as more weird shit comes out and more conspiracy theories are proven true, I just don't know what to think anymore.
Have you heard the eerie conspiracy theory about the music industry that your favorite artist is actually a fraud with no vocal talent and they have another singer who can actually sing, record their vocals for them? I think we're being lied to because if you pitch up Morgan Wallen's voice, it sounds exactly like Miley Cyrus.
So girl, if you're both by the bed, so girl,
We don't get a copyright on that.
if you're both by the bed.
So he's also Hannah Montana and Ashley O. And if you pitch up one of the most famous male country singer of all time, Garth Brooks' vocals, it sounds like one of the most famous female country singers of all time.
Our lives
I'm sorry, I'm gonna pause it every now and then. Hopefully they let me take the sound out.
better left to chance.
I'm a little worried about it.
Our lives
I'm not gonna lie.
better left
Yep.
to chance.
I always try to
There's a
listen
lot
to
of artists
this.
that this can be applied to that I made a video about in the past, but basically, the music industry will do anything to make a dollar,
I don't
so
know how
they'll
long this
find
clip
someone
is.
with a profitable voice, pitch it up or down, and give it to someone who cannot sing, but has a profitable image
I
and
agree with
look
him.
that they can give that voice to make more money off of one voice. You're probably thinking, Patty, you're just a conspiracy theorist, but trust me, the other examples will convince you. Before I play what artist Carrie Underwood
Oh,
sounds
man.
like if you pitch her down, make sure you follow so you finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about each of these celebrities and requests you want to see next.
Maybe I should have skipped all this, you know what I'm saying? This sucks. I hope I don't get it on this. Just to know, I might get it edited.
Did this song from 1969 predict the events of 2024? This theory says yes. So back in 1969, there was a song that was released called Age of Aquarius, Let the Sun Shine In by a band named The Fifth Dimension. In their lyrics, they speak very specifically about what the Age of Aquarius is and what will happen during the Age of Aquarius. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Age of Aquarius just began on January 20th of 2024. The band detailed that during the Age of Aquarius, there will be harmony and understanding, sympathy, trust abounding, and no more falsehoods or lies. And at the very beginning of 2024, the Age of Aquarius, this is already happening. There has been news about aliens and extra-dimensional beings, billionaires and millionaires coming out and being candid about their preparation for the end of the world by building bunkers. Big governments and individuals being exposed for lying, cheating, stealing, and hurting other people. And most importantly, news about World War III has been coming out day after day, warning us that something big is about to happen and that our world will change forever. Now, although some are hopeful for the Age of Aquarius, others are actually very fearful of it because some believe that the world will end during the Age of Aquarius, which is right around now. Now, whether you believe in astrology or if this band was right or wrong, none of that matters. We do see that something is changing and happening in our world right now, and we have to be prepared for it. So are you prepared for the Age of Aquarius and what's to come? Tell me what you think in the comments.
So, are we just gonna ignore that the CIA has done experiments on our minds? Like really, how powerful are we? There was testings of our minds on thousands of Americans. Astral projection, telekinesis, telepathy. Our minds can create split personalities. There was a report of a German woman who had never left Germany, who had split personalities, and she starts speaking fluent French out of nowhere. Could this woman have possibly connected to her past lives, where she was a French woman? In astral projection, you can travel through time. Do we fully understand what we're dreaming? Is it us traveling to different dimensions, different worlds while we're asleep? Do we really understand what we're capable of? Certain people can harness advanced brain power. Unexplained videos of people lifting rocks out of the ground. movies of people having superpowers, even in TV shows, people who have claimed to get money, whatever they want, through a mind trick called manifestation. Can this prove that we are multi-dimensional beings? Loud pitch ringing in our ears that are unexplainable. Is schizophrenia people's minds being disturbed by negative entities? Why does our brain cells look like the universe? We have to stop thinking that everything is physical. Some people feel that we actually don't have a soul. But according to CIA documents, there are so many things that our soul can do. So what do we really know about brain power? Just my thoughts though, so y'all stay dangerous.
Y'all think that's the moon on the other side? The sun on one side and the moon on the other? Let me know in the comments.
So you're saying there's an entire country we don't know about?
What if I told you there's a part of the Earth no one's ever seen? At least, not the people you know. Everyone's stuck believing the Earth is this perfect little globe where sure, you just stroll in a circle, and boom, you're back where you started. Cute idea, right? But tell me, why don't we just cross Antarctica? Oh, right, because nobody ever has. You think it's just this cold, useless slab of ice at the bottom of the world, but that's the lie. Antarctica? It's not just land, it's a wall, a barrier. It locks us inside the tiny part of the Earth we think we know. And what lies beyond, that's where things get interesting. The people in power, they know what's on the other side. They make sure you stay clueless like good little sheep, believing you live on 7 continents. But you've got no idea what's out there. Whole continents. Oceans bigger than the Pacific. And humans who have lived beyond that ice wall for centuries were nothing more than their experiment, caged inside this small, controlled space. That's the real reason no one lets you explore Antarctica. They don't want you wandering too far because once you cross that ice, you'd realize we're not in charge of this world at all.
Some conspiracy theories sound crazy until you realize they might be true. The CIA's MKUltra project secretly tested mind control experiments on real people. The U.S. government poisoned alcohol during Prohibition, killing thousands. Big Tobacco covered up the deadly effects of smoking for decades. The Gulf of Tonkin incident that led the U.S. into war was likely faked. The Tuskegee experiment let patients die just to study untreated diseases. The NSA has been spying on civilians for years, until Snowden exposed them. The Bilderberg Group secretly influences global politics behind closed doors. The phantom time hypothesis suggests that 300 years of history were fabricated. These theories once sounded absurd, but the evidence tells a different story. What if the biggest conspiracy is the one we haven't uncovered yet?
So scientists now think humans are actually the aliens. There's a theory that Mars is the place where human life originally started. This is because the rover on Mars has been picking up a lot of an element called xenon all over the surface. What's scary about this is that xenon is the same element that started being discovered around Hiroshima and Nagasaki, as well as nuclear bomb testing sites. And this element has never been found anywhere where there hasn't been a nuclear explosion. This has led many to believe that humans had a nuclear war on Mars that absolutely decimated the planet and made it uninhabitable for humans, and only a select few of the powerful families made their way to Earth. To do this, the Mars civilization would have had to be extremely advanced, which might explain why we see such unexplainable architecture from our past, like the pyramids. Maybe these people tried to hide these advancements with the hopes we would never get to a point of nuclear war again. But human nature and greed brought us right back to the point of destruction once again. You know how people say life doesn't feel real ever since 2020?
Yeah.
Well, look, it's because it isn't. For the decades leading up to 2020, there was something going on that the general public never could have expected. Certain aspects of our technology weren't only just providing services for us, they were planning a dramatic shift of consciousness. Google Earth, for the last 25 years, has been creating a completely digitized, three-dimensional blueprint of the entire planet, a perfect database of 3D tracked images of what our external world looks like. While all of our devices that were inside the home, riddled with cameras, have been slowly building back-end digitized replicas of what our households look and feel like. Silently, this siphoned visual information was being harnessed to build a massive digitized replica of our world inside and out, a kind of complex virtual reality that perfectly mimics the real one. Our digital footprints were used to create hyper-realistic digital avatars in this world that look and feel just like us. This virtual reality was being
Y'all see a face? I see a face. Maybe it was here before.
These are the wildest what-if theories I've ever heard. The last one will turn your brain upside down. What if when we die, the light at the end of the tunnel is a light to a hospital room? We are born, and the reason we come crying out is because we remember we died and lost everything in our past life. What if we used to be able to make wishes, but someone wished we could? I said we find them and junk them. What if the world actually ended in 2012 as many people thought, and everything since that year has been a dream? Well, wake me up, I'm tired of bills. What if Mr. Krebs is Pearl's sugar daddy, which is why she's always calling him daddy and asking him for money? That makes a lot of sense. What if our entire universe is just in a tiny glass jar, placed neatly on a shelf in an alien child's room as science project? Or the Big Bang in our universe can just be one big fart that some creature just let out and time is different in their world. But right now, it seems like it's been billions of years, but a narrow world that's been like 2 seconds. What if you're the only human on Earth and the rest of the population you see is just your imagination playing tricks on you?
I did not go to medical school.
I'm sorry.
I did not go to medical school.
That's what I thought. Why do you think you or anyone else at Twitter had the medical expertise to censor a doctor's expert opinion?
Our policies regarding COVID were designed to protect individuals. We were seeing
You guys censored Harvard-educated doctors, Stanford-educated doctors, doctors that are educated in the best places in the world, and you silenced those voices. Did the U.S. government ever contact you or anyone at Twitter to pressure Twitter to moderate or censor certain tweets? Yes or no?
we have a program.
Did the U.S. government ever contact you or anyone at Twitter to censor or moderate certain tweets? Yes or no?
We received legal demands to remove content from the platform from the U.S. government and governments all around the world. Those are published on a third-party website, and anyone can review.
Thank God for Matt Taibbi. Thank God for Elon Musk for allowing to show us in the world that Twitter was basically a subsidiary of the FBI, censoring real medical voices with real expertise that put real Americans' lives in danger because they didn't have that information.
Can we talk about this TV show called The 100? Specifically the last season? And yes, these blinds will continue to stay closed. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, so if you haven't watched it, get off this video. Now, in this season, there is an orb that takes you to different planets, if you have the right coordinates. Now, also on this orb, there is a code to Supreme Higher Intelligence that gives different species on planets a test, whether or not they can ascend with them. So in Christian terms, it would be like the rapture, aka Judgment Day. Now, there's this group of people who control the orb, who believe in fighting a war to save all mankind, controlled by this man who thinks he's God. They have a belief system of not feeling love, not having any emotional attachments to anything, and fighting the war. That's all they care about. Now, the main characters are being attacked by these people, and they don't care who they hurt. They all want for the benefit of themselves. A lot of fighting goes on, and these higher conscious beings are like, oh no, y'all not ready. All of this fighting, all of this anger, no love. Why would we want y'all to join us in our intelligence? I wonder if we could say the same thing for everybody on this planet. So many wars, so much disagreement, different religions, and some of them think that they're better than the other one. Same thing in the TV show. A character named Allie, she communicated with the higher beings, and she said, we're not ready either. These higher beings do not want to interact with the negative energy or the vibration of humans. Probably why we haven't seen these beings integrate into our society. I mean, let's just be honest. Earth is ghetto. All these corruptions, human trafficking, so many unhappy people stuck in a cycle of this system. The consciousness of Earth right now is just not attractive. So was this TV show trying to tell us something about our consciousness? Let me know what y'all think. Stay dangerous.
This is really scary. Is Donald Trump a time traveler? Let me explain. In 1893, a book titled Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey was published. Weird title, right? It might seem like a simple coincidence, but there's more. Donald Trump's son is also named Baron Trump. Now take a look at this.
There's something weird going on with him. To be honest with you, I feel like it is. Baron Trump's He's different.
Book cover I'm showing you. Doesn't the boy in the illustration look a lot like Baron Trump? The story's about a boy who discovers a way to travel through time. And here's the strange part. His mentor's name is Don. Another coincidence. Or is it? The author of this book, Ingersoll Lockwood, also wrote another one in 1896 called The Last President. And this is where things get even weirder. This book tells the story of a very wealthy man who lives on Fifth Avenue in New York City. And what iconic building is located on Fifth Avenue? That's right, Trump Tower. In the book, this man becomes the President of the United States, even though no one believed he could. Then he starts building his government team, which includes someone named Leif Benz. Does that name sound familiar to you? But wait, there's more. In 1943, Nikola Tesla, the famous inventor, passed away. Tesla claimed to have discovered how to manipulate time, which could be interpreted as opening portals. After his death, the FBI confiscated all his notes. And guess who was called to analyze them? A professor from MIT named John Trump, who happens to be Donald Trump's grandfather. Coincidences or signs of something bigger? These details make you think, right? Is it pure chance or destiny? Let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like for more secrets about the elite.
Had the opportunity over the years to interview, again, people who have worked at the test site at Groom Lake. One gentleman spent 12 of his 30 years in black programs at Groom Lake. When I asked him, I said, first of all, I said, do you believe in UFOs? And he looked at me with a straight face in one-on-one. He said, absolutely, positively, they do exist. I said, can you expand upon that? He said, no, I can't. About a year later, we were talking about, again, activities at Groom Lake. And I asked him, I said, you know, can you really tell me what's happening out there? He said, well, there's a lot of things that are going on there that I won't be able to tell you until the year 2025. But we have things in the Nevada desert that would make George Lucas envy.
They seem to be heading in that direction. We've heard a little bit about the ocean and this and that, but things picked up back in November and now all of a sudden it quieted down, or did it? I'm gonna find out later. I'm gonna look up some videos for y'all.
Now this is scary. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but there's a theory going around. It's more like a religious theory. I saw a TikTok video where a preacher was talking and he spoke about something very interesting idea. What if God is actually water? Think about it for us.
What if water is God?
Then that would mean God is both in us and all around us. That God is both above and below us. Why a woman's water breaks when we're born.
But there's more. We often say that God is everything. Well, if that's true, then everything around us would be what? Water. There's water in the air even though we can't see it. There's water inside you, inside me, and in every living thing. Now consider places where water is scarce, like deserts or wastelands. What do you usually find there? Death, because of the lack of water, and it's scorching, like hell. Here's something else. In the Bible, when Jesus was tempted by the devil, where was he? In the desert. He was searching for water.
My lip and close my eyes. It doesn't just appear.
So we'll have to come around. Do you see it?
No.
It's not that.
There it is.
Where?
Look.
Oh, let this guy go.
Did you not just see that?
No, are you filming?
Look
so
up,
I
look
can
up,
see?
look up.
Where am I looking?
Look! There's a floating tree.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. So this right here shows all the conspiracy theories from the most well-known ones that we all know to the darkest of the dark. This series we're going to be going from the most well-known ones to the darkest of the dark, which will probably keep you up all night. Having to do the research into all of these is probably going to disturb the hell out of me, but you know, I'm doing it for you guys, so make sure you hit that follow button. Part 1. Let's go. Today we're going to be talking about Area 51, but not how you think. Trust me, this is wild. This guy right here is Bob Lazar. Now, he used to work at Area 51. Now, Area 51 is, of course, one of the biggest conspiracy theories out there. What is it? Why can't we go near there? Is it just a military base? Bob claims he used to work there, reverse engineering alien craft. Now, this right here is his actual drawing of an alien craft. Yeah, crazy, right? This is where it gets mental. Absolutely mental. I think Area 51 is this place, right? According to Bob, this is not where all the crazy stuff happened. It's actually down the road here, in a place called Area S4. Area S4 is located up in the mountains, completely top secret, and nobody knows really what it is until Bob came out about it. Bob claims he would be taken to Area S4, which is an underground facility where he would work on the alien craft. Put the coordinates into Google and look at this place. It's just crazy. The road which leads straight up to it, the road ends right there, and then there's just like holes in the ground. So there is definitely something there. What I'm saying is all from Bob. There is literally a documentary about this. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. You may have seen it. Yeah. Let me know what you think, because this is crazy. The series is about to get a whole lot crazier, so make sure you hit that follow button. I'll see you in the next one.
There's one thing I learned too, the mattress superstition about feng shui.
What's a mattress one?
So like, you shouldn't actually have a mattress, a welcome mattress, going into your
or
house.
a mat.
Yeah,
like
a mat.
rug.
Yeah,
mattress.
a mat. Oh no, it's specifically the welcome ones.
Why?
Because that's literally a welcome sign for all bad, either a demon, a spirit, or bad energy to come into your house. Anything is welcome now.
Ooh.
So they say welcome, boom. And there's 3 things I learned from a person that studies from feng shui.
Yeah.
So you're not allowed, you shouldn't have a mattress with a name on it. So like, Wico family house, and it says on a mattress. Do you know why?
Not a mattress, just a mat.
Yeah, like a mat, like a mat.
Rug, yeah.
Yeah, a welcome mat.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't say your name, because when people come in and step on it, it's kind of like a negative energy.
Yeah, they're disgracing it.
They're disgracing, yeah. And there's another one where you can't have like go away, because it's already negative energy. So whenever people see that go away and they come into your house, already what is it? Negative energy filling through the house.
There's a video of the queen. When the queen died, there was a hot mic. So there's a mic on that they didn't know was on, and they leaked some information, and there was a conversation going on that wasn't supposed to go on live television.
Damn.
So while
What'd she say?
While they were recording it, listen, while they were recording it, you can hear the queen say some really sus shit. Look, not the queen, sorry.
Okay.
The queen's like team saying some weird stuff. Listen.
Death is irreversible, as you can see.
Okay.
The death is irreversible.
If you can't hear it. So this is during the queen's funeral procession.
Yeah.
She said, this is the exact words. The death is irreversible, and the fact she is trapped. And then it just cuts off. Listen.
Yeah.
Death is irreversible, as you can see.
So what do you think that means?
The death is irreversible. So it was planned?
I think, this is what I think. I think, like I said, what if at a certain time when you reach that level of power, success, or whoever, just importance, something comes into you, or they put spirits, entities, or even different people inside of your body to control. Now, she's saying the death is irreversible, but she's still trapped. Now, this is just my own theory, but what if they mean by like she's still trapped? That spirit, they weren't able to transfer to somebody else yet.
Alrighty, today is April the 11th. It is about 1:40, almost 2 o'clock p.m. PST as I'm making this video. And this isn't going to be your average news article thing that I always do. This was an experience that I had just last night that actually really put me on edge, if I could best describe it. And not in a bad way, but question something. Last night I was woken up 3 times, and the story that I'm going to give you is pretty out there. It's going to sound crazy, and I feel like I'm crazy, but I know there's somebody out there that could explain what I saw. So last night I was woken up 3 times, and one of them was about, I couldn't tell you the time, but my computer, the one I do videos, articles, and then I record on my phone and stuff like that, turned on out of nowhere, just like that. It woke me up, obviously, and I thought it was pretty weird. Didn't think much of it, and I turned it off. That's the first time. That's the first thing that woke me up. The second time, this is where the encounter gets weird. I was fully asleep, and this is so crazy. I shouldn't even be saying this, but I was talking to somebody in my dream or in my sleep or something. I don't know what you would call it. And I want to say it was an angel. And it sounds crazy the more I'm saying it. And I was telling my family members about it, and they don't know what to think. but I'm going to share this with you. So he asked me, and this is what I remember. He was speaking to me like how you would speak to somebody in a library. He wasn't soft spoken, but he wasn't loud. And what I heard him ask me was, could you think of something holy? Without hesitation, I answered, of course I can. Of course I can. I don't know what I still don't know what I was thinking of or anything like that, but I saw something. And then I was woken up. Something just like that just woke me up. And as I was waking up, because I was in a deep sleep, you know how your eyes adjust and it's blurry, but you could still see? There he was. I saw this man, this angel, and he didn't look like your average kind of angel. I don't know what angels look like, but you could feel something off of him. He wasn't there to hurt me or anything like that, but the way I could describe him, and it was quick, he was very quick. The way I could describe him is he had a nice robe on. He had a nice clear robe, and he had what looked like to be a satchel. I want to call it a satchel. I hope I'm using the right terms. And he had what looked like it could be for badges, but the satchel, it was clear. I don't think there was nothing on it, but he had that clear as day. And he had a hat on, and the hat he had was, the best way I could describe it is like the Pope's hat. Very, very huge. You know how the Pope wears that big ass hat and it's huge. It looked like that. He had no shoes on and you could see his feet, but he was bright. The way I could describe him too is he was bright and he was transparent. You could see through him, but you could see him, but you could see through him. And his eyes were like mine, like my eyes, but it looked like he was blind. And you know how blind people have white eyes, clear white eyes? He looked blind, but he wasn't blind. And it wasn't scary. It wasn't like oh my gosh. But it was like when you don't notice somebody's there, you don't realize somebody's there, so it kind of shocks you, like, whoa, like, hey. It wasn't fear, but it was a shock, like, oh my gosh. So as my eyes are adjusting, I blink one moment. He's there one moment, and as soon as I blink, he is gone the next. But I got a very good description of him, and the way I could describe it is a very second drawing, like a quick drawing, is picture his feet at the bottom right here. But he had a white robe and you could only see his feet. And he had this. He did have this. I know for a fact I saw this, and I saw the robe, and I saw this hat. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe, I don't know.
Crazy.
It didn't freak me out, but I know what I saw. And I know it sounds crazy the more you're hearing this story. Like maybe I ate something bad or something. I don't know. But I want to know if anybody has seen something like this. And there's more to the story.
Have you all seen anything?
So that's the second time I was woken up by this angel. And it looked like, I want to call him an angel, but it looked like he wasn't your average Joe. He looked like he was waiting for something. Waiting for orders, he was on standby or something. He didn't look like your average Joe. And the third and final thing that woke me up is, I want to say the experience was, I was in a deep sleep, thought that was weird, but I went back to sleep, and I could feel this tingling, this vibration, this sensation of not my body, but what I want to say is my consciousness or my soul elevating, kind of elevating. But it tingled, it tickled, it, like the way I could, it wasn't a bad feeling, it tickled, it felt funny, and it woke me up. And I could feel, not my body, but my consciousness or my soul come back. And I woke up, but I could still feel the sensation of being in my bed, of that tingliness. And I could feel also him listening to my mind. And, you know, all I said was in my mind. He didn't respond, but I felt like he was there. I knew, I could feel it for some weird reason. He was there. And I said in my mind, I was like, whoa, that felt weird. I go back to bed. And that's when I stay asleep. And for the final thing that I said and I could feel I was still talking to this gentleman in my head, in my mind, or I don't know how to explain it. It was super weird, and I know this sounds crazy. I asked him, still did not get a response, but I asked him, could I see Jesus? Could I see? I didn't get a response, but I got a vision, and I couldn't see exactly, but you know how light, like a spotlight, shoots down in the dark, and you could only see the light, but the light is bright, so you're kind of like you're kind of squinting. This was kind of like that. The light was bright, the darkness, or like what I want to say, my unconsciousness or whatever it was, the light shines down. I can't see what's in the light. I cannot see what's in the light, so I don't know what I saw, but I could see it was bright. And then I wake up, you know, that was the final thing. I wake up, the night's done, so I have to get started with the day, but that was the experience, that was the thing. And it was very strange, and I know this isn't your average article, your news article. I know I do news articles, but this one was very weird, man. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like this guy is coming back. I feel like whatever this angel was, he's waiting on orders or waiting for something. I don't know what it is, but he looked not intimidating, but he looked like on standby. I'm sorry if this makes me sound very crazy. It's just I want to know if anybody has experienced something like this. I don't know how to explain this, but I hope I did the best to describe it. You guys take care, and bye-bye.
I love the experience.
Housing market goes up, the car market goes up. I mean, everything goes up, but the pay stays the same, man. And you expect the young generation to get behind that? You expect the young generation to just, I'm gonna put my head down and work for no reason whatsoever, so we can look up in 30 years and be in the same spot that we were after all that hard work? That way 3 people on the top can benefit from our hard work? Man, out of here, man. Out of here, man. Y'all crazy, man. That's why. That's why. You can't find young people to work, that's why. Because you're not offering them nothing. You ain't giving them a future. You're trying to just tell them to work hard. Just, excuse me. You're just telling them to work hard because it benefits your company. You're just telling them to work hard because you don't know what else to tell them. Give young people a future and something to look forward to, and watch how hard a lot of these young people work, man. Watch how many people get into the workforce and take over as a young person. But until these companies and these businesses give young people a future and something to look forward to, bro, the young generation, we ain't going for it, bro. This is a wake-up call to all the CEOs, all the bosses, all this. It's your business starts at the bottom. I do not care what you say. I don't care about your finances. I don't care about the COO who does this. Fuck all that. Your business does not run without the people on the bottom who are there every single day. Not taking flights and not going to freaking business meetings and sitting around and having drinks and eating and talking about nothing. You understand? Y'all need to take that in consideration, man. Y'all gotta start paying people, man. Start paying the people on the bottom. Maybe you guys would stop having such terrible turnover. A lot of these companies' turnover is just sickening. Y'all can't keep nobody. Because y'all don't want to pay nobody. And when somebody does work hard, y'all don't want to reward them. Y'all trying to take advantage of people to make yourselves stay up on the top. Well, that's why you ain't got no workers, man. That's why when you look in construction right now, the average age is like 47 years old or something crazy, something in the 40s like that. Bro, nobody's gonna put in the work and not have a future for themselves, bro. It's not gonna happen. Stop it.
Bill Gates says that AI will replace doctors and teachers within 10 years. He also says that humans won't even be needed for most things due to the advancement with AI. And even right here, he talks about how most jobs will be obsolete due to AI. Believe them when they tell you what is coming, because he's not the only one that has talked about this AI takeover. Even Elon Musk has talked about this AI takeover. So it's no surprise that he's coming out and talking about this.
For real.
Because what this is this is more truth in plain sight. They've got to tell you well in advance of what is coming before it actually comes. And this is what we are seeing. This is what we are seeing happen on a daily basis, is AI is taking over more and more and more and more. People really need to wake up.
Hey man, it is boycott season. It's boycott.
The Simpsons predicted April 29th, 2025, the day everything stops. Follow me if you've ever watched The Simpsons. In a 1998 episode, Springfield experiences a total blackout. Just before it happens, a digital calendar flickers for the last time. April 29th, Professor Frink shouts, "The end has come." Kent Brockman, eerily calm, says, "See you in the Stone Age." But that's not all. In 2013, Mr. Burns casually mentions, "The end of energy is already scheduled. Pause the scene at the right moment." And the date is clear, April 29th, 2025. And in 2007, Lisa holds a book titled The Last Day of Civilization. The date on the cover, April 29, 2025. A global blackout, total collapse, phones stop working one by one. Gas stations can't pump fuel, water systems start failing, emergency alerts can't reach everyone, or something even worse. What do you think of this wild prediction? Share your thoughts in the comments. Follow for more fictional stories.
In 2025, Earth experiences a year that changes everything. A series of events so strange and unprecedented that no one is prepared. It starts quietly in January. News outlets report minor earthquakes in regions where they've never occurred. By February, skies above Springfield and across the globe begin to glow faintly green at night. At first, it's dismissed as an unusual display of the northern lights, but the glow extends far beyond the poles, sparking curiosity and unease. Marge notices something peculiar in her garden. Her vegetables are growing at twice their normal size, yet their taste is strangely metallic. Reports flood in from around the world. Crops are ripening unnaturally fast, animals are behaving erratically, and cities are facing sudden, violent storms. The oceans swell with unpredictable tides, flooding coastal areas. By March, scientists deliver a startling explanation. Earth's magnetic field is shifting at an unprecedented rate. What should have taken a millennium is now happening in months. Professor Frink gathers the town and explains the gravity of the situation. This magnetic anomaly isn't just affecting compasses, it's disrupting satellites, power grids, and even migratory patterns of birds and fish. The very fabric of modern life, navigation, communication, and technology is under threat. As the months pass, the magnetic chaos accelerates. By October, planes are grounded due to navigation failures, and internet disruptions become commonplace. Springfield and the rest of the world are on edge. People panic buy supplies, fearing the worst. In December, the skies transform into a breathtaking yet ominous display. Daytime auroras bathe the world in vivid, shimmering lights. But this beauty comes at a cost. Electronics everywhere shut down. Phones, computers, cars, and even basic appliances go dark. The modern world grinds to a halt, throwing humanity back into a pre-digital age. So what do you think? If Earth faced a year like this, would it be an opportunity to reset and rebuild, or would it push humanity to the brink? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Can you please explain to me in detail the event that occurred at Vandenberg Air Force Base?
Certainly. I've been waiting for this for seems like my whole life, and I literally fell out of my chair.
They observed a very large red square, estimated to be almost the size of a football field, approach the base from the ocean and hover at low altitude over one of the launch facilities.
Radio transmissions start to pour in.
As it became closer and closer to our position, it stopped and hovered right up the coastline. There's no propulsion systems, no lights, no audible sounds, and it just hovered there.
And then just all hell broke loose.
There was a lot of chaos.
These are people I'd spent years with, and they're not people that are easily frightened or intimidated. And they were terrified, and they were screaming for help over the net.
This object remained for about 45 seconds or so before darting off over the mountains.
It just shot away up the coastline. It seemed like 1,000,000 miles an hour, like it was shot out of a cannon, and then it was gone. I mean, personally, I can't explain it. I've never seen anything like it in my life. The way it hovered, to make no sound, to have no propulsion system. Our air
And that's today's end of the video. I hope that y'all love the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe to the page. You really need some subscribe. We don't have none. So it would help out a lot. And like the video, please at least like it so it can move in the algorithm so more people can see it. Click the notification bell if you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.